We do want to bring in Jamil Jaffer now, founder and executive director of the National Security Institute. Jamil, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Natasha.
And here we are yet again, Jamil, another airborne object shot down, this time over Lake Huron. And the Pentagon acknowledging, as Joe was just saying, this may have been spying. What do you make of this latest incident?
You know, Natasha, I think it seems clear at this point that the Pentagon and the White House believe these aircraft are a threat to the United States, whether a surveillance threat or some other type of threat. They're clearly taking action aggressively to take these airframes down. What's also clear, I think, increasingly so, based on analysts online who are talking about this and have been talking about this for a while, what it appears is that these are either balloons or drones over U.S. airspace that simply weren't detected previously because our sensors were set to exclude smaller, slower-moving objects. And so we're now detecting a lot more of these. It's not that they're newly in our airspace. It's that we're being more careful to identify them and detect them and now ultimately take action against them.
And there is a feeling of this happening all at once. Is our nation's technology up to the task, or do improvements need to be made?
Well, I think Congressman Turner, there's no question that Joe Khalil was pointing out that there do need to be improvements to our air defense systems. The fact that we're not detecting these things until they're over U.S. airspace, that last night NORAD said it was a radar anomaly. At the same time, they're telling Congressman Matt Rosendale, we're going to wait and see in the morning. And sure enough, there was that object again. You know, imagine if that object had some sort of a more threatening purpose than just intelligence collection, we'd be in a very different situation. And so it's good that we're able to detect them now. It's good that we're able to identify them, but it's a real problem that we're not able to see them ahead of time. We need to improve our missile defenses, our air defenses. And it looks like in this case, F-16 took it down, which means they may have used guns, which suggests that we may be able to obtain that intelligence package that's on that craft that we believe is on this aircraft at this point.
Well, has NORAD actually changed its ability to detect slow-moving and low aircraft? And is this the result that we are seeing more detection, more objects?
Well, you know, Natasha, my sense is based on what I'm hearing online from intelligence and aviation experts, in particular, Tyler Rogoway of the War Zone and the Drive. His analysis is that what's going on here is that you're actually seeing a reduction in the filtering taking place on the signals we're already getting. So we're getting the signals. It's that we were filtering it out before, and now we're filtering it. We're allowing it to come in through our filters and identify these things. It's consistent with what the Washington Post was also reporting based on what they're hearing from the Department of Defense. I think it's all coming together. And the story basically is we did know these objects were there. Now that we know they're there, we know what to look for. We're identifying them more often, and now we're taking action because we don't want these things in our airspace.
What are you tracking in terms of, has this series of shootdowns resulted in significant intelligence collection for us? And what specifically will we be looking for?
Well, actually, the real worry, Natasha, is that this has actually been a significant intelligence gain for the adversary, and here's why. If, in fact, what they're doing is what Tyler Rogoway assesses, which is that they're actually trying to identify how good our air defenses are, by us lighting them up with all of our different radar systems, with the F-22 radar system and the like, they now can see what a war-fighting U.S. posture looks like and are able to collect on that capability at fairly low cost with these drones or whatever they are. So, and we may be able to tell something about the intelligence package on this latest thing that was down because apparently we've taken it down with an F-16 with guns. But what's more concerning is that they're really understanding our radar capabilities, what we're able to do, what we're not able to do by getting in close to our systems and forcing us to identify them and ultimately take action against them.
That is concerning. And over the last 2 days, it has seemed more like a shoot first, ask questions later mindset here. Could that strategy backfire?
Well, you know, I mean, I suppose it could. At the end of the day, we're well within our rights as a matter of international and domestic law to take action against these aircraft. They're in our airspace without authorization. There's nothing improper about us taking these down. So the only way it might backfire is that ultimately we're giving them more data about our intelligence collection capabilities against them, our radars and our guns and our weapons. And ultimately, that may be the biggest challenge that we face from taking these aircraft down rather than some international incidents. Although it is worth saying, if all of these are from the same adversary, whether that be China or Russia, who are the most likely targets, it is obviously concerning, and they're going to need to come to account for why they're flying these devices over our airspace.
What is your sense in the last 8 days? What have other countries seen when the U.S. has taken these actions, and what has China seen?
Well, you know, at a minimum, our allies are with us. The Canadians obviously took action in their own airspace with our assistance to take down an aircraft. We've heard, support from our other allies. The Chinese are watching this very closely, and if these are Chinese aircraft, I think they're finally realizing that the U.S. is not going to stand for these violations of our airspace. At the same time, they've also learned that we haven't been able to detect these devices for a long time. Now we're getting better at it, but they're able to now collect on how good we are at it and potentially be able to evade them in the future. So, a mixed bag of what I think our allies and our adversaries are learning in this circumstance, Natasha.
Okay, mixed bag. And the origin of these latest objects, of course, we do want to highlight, remains to be seen still. What can you tell us about what China is saying in all of this and how our relationship with them has been further complicated in the last 8 days?
Well, Natasha, China has stuck to their story about the balloon that we took down on February 4th, that it was a weather balloon, that it was simply off course, it wasn't intentional, and that we're the ones who violated international norms by taking down this aircraft. None of that is accurate. The U.S. government has definitively said it was a Chinese intelligence craft that was carrying surveillance devices, and they correctly say that we're within the law to take it down. Now, as for these other 3 devices, the Chinese government has remained silent. No one is taking credit, not the Russians, not the Chinese, not anybody. But what's clear is these are not extraterrestrial objects. These are very terrestrial, and they clearly are aimed, it appears, at intelligence collection. The only question now is, how are they operating? Why did we detect them? And what have they collected on? And ultimately, are they a threat to the United States?
All right, Jamil, Jaffer, always appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Natasha.